Because I felt a point coming. Yeah, because I felt it. It felt organic. Let me bring it down this way. Yeah, because it felt good. Bringing it to you. Bringing it to you. Bringing it to you. G.
Welcome to At the End of the Day. And let's just go right into this conversation because we got great news today. On the 44th day.
On the 44th day.
After Trayvon Martin's killing, George Zimmerman has been arrested.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about when you think of that? Did you think it took too long, or you at the point where you're just happy he got arrested?
I'm not happy he got arrested. I'm pleased.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's about damn time. That's about it.
I think so too.
I mean, you know, a lot of people are celebrating as if this is some sort of a win. I don't take it as a win. I think it's something that's supposed to happen.
Right.
I mean, somebody commits a crime, they go to jail. I'm not celebrating. I think it's a lot of people, you know, low expectations for what happens with Black Americans.
Right.
When crimes happen from non-Black Americans.
Exactly. But I can understand that, being Black in America. I can understand the celebrating. Under normal conditions, whatever that would be, there probably wouldn't be celebrating because he would have been arrested and we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But I think we have to give ourselves credit for something. And I think that's where the celebrating comes from. That people, because of social media, in my opinion, because of social media, starting off with Al Sharpton and the National Action Network, moved on to social media. I think people were able to centralize and come together on a common cause. And I think that's what people are celebrating, that actually something got done.
You know, there are a lot of things that I think we can march about. And I like the marching. I think that all that's good. But because this was just a regular dude, you know what I'm saying? I'm just over it. I'm tired of giving, because I feel like it's also the notion that, oh, we did you guys a favor. We arrested him. No, he was supposed to be arrested.
And that's true.
I think of it like this. When somebody is excited because someone takes care of their own children, it's so good. You take care of your kids. Really?
Oh, I don't do that.
Shouldn't you do that?
Oh, no, I don't do
you know
that.
What
but
I'm
I know what you're saying.
Right. I mean, I get it. I think that we should be happy that he's arrested, because that is it. But it's no celebration, because if he's arrested and he gets exonerated or the charges are dropped, then what?
Well, I think let me say this also. I think the celebration comes from the fact that, in my opinion, had there not been such an uproar, this case would have been like millions of other cases, because there's really too many cases to mention at the end of the day. It's just a whole bunch of cases. And I think the celebrating comes from us standing up for one of our own kids and something being done. I get it. I get what you're saying. That it sounds like we're just, you know, and that's another thing. Don't celebrate and stop. See, that's the next thing.
Right.
Because there is another case. And there's another case. In fact, there's a local case now that's quite similar to the Trayvon Martin case. And I think that we just are able to breathe for a quick minute, but definitely get back on it. But let's go to a break, and we'll come back with this discussion. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to At the End of the Day. And we started off this show, we were so excited that we forgot to tell you who we are. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Shonta.
So we were having a discussion about the so-called celebration that's going on. I understand the celebration. My co-host is not. Well, she gets it, but she's
I think it's overrated.
She thinks it's overrated. So we were getting into that discussion about basically going into where do we go from here.
Right.
Because while you're celebrating, it's not the end. There's a whole trial to go to. If there's a trial, there may be a what do they call it? When you get suggested something. My mind is blank.
I know what you mean.
A deal may be cut.
When you plead to a lesser.
Yeah, plead to a lesser or plead
charge.
to get lesser time. So we don't know how this is going to play out. I'm actually hoping from here to hear more evidence of what they have concerning the case that possibly we have not heard.
Right.
But I will. Can I just interject this? The one thing that bothered me about the press conference, you heard it. You listened to it. Okay, so you didn't see it.
No.
Well, if you heard it, you had to have heard it. When she came on, the prosecutor in Florida, Angela Corey, she was, to me, grandstanding and shouting out her colleagues. It was like a campaign. I was like,
Yeah.
What is going on? And she was like, I want to thank this person and that. And I was like, really?
Because it was a national case.
Yeah, and
so,
I'm thinking that she has some political agenda after this. Yeah.
It's that thing. When I think about this, I think about Troy Davis, which was the last big uproar that we had, and how the system waited the folks out. They were out there standing in front of the police station the jail, and they were supposed to execute him at this time. Then they kept delaying it as if they were going to overturn it. But it was really to wait till most of the people left because they didn't want to deal with a riot. And I think that this is something that the government's tactic is for anything, not just race issues, but anything, is to wait folks out, and then they'll forget about it. We arrested him. People won't get as upset if he would have just go away.
Then that's a good point. I get that too. But they will do that. But what I'm thinking this has done, I've seen from what I've seen, my interpretation, a mobilization of people that I haven't seen in a long time. Something that we saw it in the Troy Davis case, but we didn't see it to that extent. I don't know if it was because of social media and you've got direct contact with people where you're able to get a message out quick, get information out quick, so people are able to mobilize sooner.
Well, I think with the Troy Davis case, it was still because the case was so old at that point, and so people had already formed their opinions, and it wasn't being retried. This was fresh, brand new. The guy did not have a gun. It was a 17-year-old kid, and it was a regular guy. It wasn't even a cop.
And the young people, I think, could relate to it because a lot of young people, especially black men, were dressed as Trayvon was supposedly dressed that evening. Wear the same fashions, who are just going on about their day, but have been typecast and stereotyped. So I think that is what brought a lot of young people into it. But like you said, when we come back again, where do we go next? What's your idea of where we go next? And I'll talk about my idea of where we go next when we come back from the break. Welcome back to At the End of the Day. So our main topic now is where do we go from here with the celebration and everything with everyone breathing somehow a sigh of relief. Where do you think we go from here?
Boycott.
What's your ideal? Boycott who?
Somebody. Anybody.
Florida? Disneyland?
Disneyland racist self? Yes. That racist rat? Absolutely. But well, here's the deal. I mean, here's the reality, and it's the truth. I mean, I even watched David Banner do like a little excerpt on, I think it was Essence or Ebony or one of those magazines, Black magazine, Black Voice, something, whatever. But he was saying there's only two things that really affect the government and make them to do things for you. That's when you affect their money and when you or evoke fear.
Okay.
And black folks haven't done either one. We talked about it briefly last time. You asked, well, why are white people so afraid of black people? Not all white people, because some of them, they got their things going on.
Right.
But he even said, it's, we haven't done anything to a white race. We're not dragging folks on the back of the trucks and lynching people. We do stuff to us. But basically, he was saying, it sounds like, they're waiting for us to do something. And so we do need to do something. I'm not saying that you go out and that you riot or you go out and you evoke fear, but you have to show that your dollar counts for something.
Exactly.
I mean, we're like one of the biggest spenders out there.
Right. Whether
we got $2 or $2 million, we're spending it. So we have to do something. And if you don't show as a people that you are in control and know what you're doing with your money or with your time or whatever the case may be, like they wouldn't do that to Mexicans. You know why? Because the highways gonna stop getting built and they're gonna stop cleaning them lawns. And you see what I'm saying?
I don't. But go ahead.
But I'm just saying. What I'm saying is because, for instance, like we talked about last time, where they were out there, immigrants and everything that were not illegal, and they were marching, and they got whatever they wanted to get out of the deal, because they come in numbers.
Okay.
Black folks, I mean, we do march, but then what happens after we march?
I think there will be something. I think...
You think so? What do you think it's going to be?
Whether it be a boycott or going on to the next case, not forgetting about the Trayvon case, but we've shown what we can do with one case, and there are unfortunately many cases out there. I think just keeping this group together, definitely keeping the young folks involved, because I think when the young folks are involved, who are the next generation, they help to propel us on to the next idea. So I think there will, because to me, I've just seen something I haven't seen before from young and old. And I think we have come to a point where we're tired of our young men being killed and there being no repercussions. We're tired of the so-called label on us of black on black crime, which if you look at the stats, doesn't even add up. We just get persecuted more than anybody else, and our stuff gets called out. But I will say that I think the next thing is to stay on this, to stay on other cases, so that our men are just not out there as targets and people know there are repercussions. You were saying a boycott of Florida?
Boycott of Florida.
Okay.
And Disney World.
That may be a good future conversation for us.
Yeah.
What you have against Disney World. But no, I totally get it with this case. I like the idea of a boycott.
Yeah, boycott of Florida, definitely. Because when you go and you spend money in Florida, you're helping the state.
Exactly.
I mean, really. And just to show that we care, and we care about where our dollars go, we care about how the government treats us as a whole.
Exactly.
And to show that, okay, just for this, to me, really wasn't as big as maybe it was big because of the fact that he was just a regular guy. The major thing I think that we're dealing with still today is the police officers killing unarmed black men.
Exactly.
And getting it on tape.
Right.
Mind
you know, with this case, because of the fact that she's going for second-degree murder, that means a death penalty is off the table.
That's correct.
What do you think about that?
I think that's cool. I don't think that you should get death.
Right.
I think death is easy.
I say that to people all the time. I'm like, death is a freedom.
I mean, what's more terrifying? You know, living in a prison with a bunch of men that probably want to fight you and make you their girl.
Right.
I mean,
for the rest of your life.
Yeah, for the rest of your life.
Whatever,
and then you don't know
years.
when somebody going to come shank you. I think that that's even
Right.
better than death.
Right. I think so too. I think death, it comes a freedom.
Right.
An eternal sleep. A
Right.
peace almost. That's what I think of it. So I think that would be the easy way out.
A person who wants to kill themselves does not set up a website, does not start blogging and asking for donations to help pay his bills. Because you about to go home to Jesus, so you don't need
exactly.
money.
What do you think? How does that website rub you the wrong way?
Definitely rubs you the wrong way. Not because he put it up. Because, hey, he's going to fight to the end. I mean, you came up with this awesome...
and you really can't blame him.
Right.
Really.
I mean, you did.
really can't.
Right. But it's the fact that you are getting some folks that are paying and donating.
I'm sure it's people on my friend list. I tell it every day on Facebook. I'm like, which one of you contributed to the job? I'm sure it's somebody on my friends list probably on Facebook who contributed to the George Zimmerman Fund.
He said, my life has been changed.
I can't
go to work. I can't go to see my family.
Neither can Trayvon.
That's what I said. Trayvon ain't breathing. And thank you for joining us. We're going to wrap up the end of the show for At the End of the Day. So I want to just, kind of like talk about what we were discussing and saying, that the Trayvon Martin case is one of many cases, as you said earlier today.
It is.
And I think basically what we need to do as a people, and not just black people, because it's not really a black thing, even though it happens more often in our community, but to make sure that we stay on task with what's going on with this case and other cases similar to this, and to show that we care and that we have some sort of control over our own community, period.
I think that's a good idea. I think this has shown what we can do when we mobilize and come together and get the word out to each other and really act on it, because black life is human life like anybody else and deserves to be kept alive, deserves to be held on to,
Absolutely.
So I think that's really something good that's coming out of this.
That is true. I think, despite my views, I do think that, like I said, I am happy that he's being prosecuted. I'm happy that it's going forward. I'm not celebrating yet because, it's, like I said,
we still got a long road to
go.
go.
The law is for the lawless. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in and watching the show. Again, my name is Shonta, and this is Nicole, and we're both coming to you from At the End of the Day. And we're on the B Lane Network, bringing it to you.